What's up, everybody? Jack Quaid's Superman show continued its second season today with episode 3. There will be spoilers for that episode here in my breakdown, so you've been warned. Now let's fly into Metropolis. Alright, episode 1 opened up at Clark and Jimmy's apartment as we see General Lane absolutely losing his mind. He thinks he's been made, and so he's set up the apartment like a bunker and is very much on edge. We also found out Jimmy was invited to Star Labs thanks to the fact he's Superman's best friend and also Flamebird. Again, where this leads in the episode and just how Jimmy's been throughout the whole show so far continues to be a perfect modernization of the character Jimmy Olsen, and I love it. Anyway, Lois is off on her own this episode, and it's intentional, as we do find out. She's off to see her dad at this point, though, and when she gets to Clark's apartment, he's gone. Lois sees him running across the street, and that takes us into a flashback, which I believe is the first for Lois in the show. I could be forgetting something in season 1, but I think this was the first as we see some of her childhood as a military brat, which I absolutely loved. We then see Clark and Jimmy making their way to Star Labs, all dripped out as Jimmy's net worth continues to just plummet. But we got some really great moments between the duo here, both here and just throughout the episode. And my favorite, had to have been when Jimmy told Clark he didn't need Superman with him, he needed him. Jimmy then gets up on stage at Star Labs, and everything takes a turn for the worse. It's revealed Lex Luthor is joining him on stage, and as if that weren't bad enough, it's an anti-Superman presentation. Jimmy obviously isn't too happy about that, and it sucks all the good vibes out of the room as Lex and Jimmy end up going head to head over Superman, but Lex, he's just too good at mental chess. After that, we got another good flashback for Lois as she and General Lane move through the sewers in present day Metropolis, and we continue to see her childhood here as a military brat and how it shapes her into the go-getter she is today, and I thought it was done really well here in this episode. Honestly, it was probably the best part outside of the action, which I thought really got going right here as the Atomic Skull attacks the lanes, and they're gonna have to do it without Superman this time. The good thing is, Lois is well prepared, and Sam is Sam, so the lanes are able to hold their own, at least for a while. From there, we saw General Lane head for his pal Winslow's shot, who fans know as the Toy Man, to get him out of town and on the run. Lois obviously isn't too happy about that as she thought she broke through to her dad, but they've got bigger concerns as Winslow set them up. That sequence leads them and us, the audience, into a massive fight that Clark can't help but attend as he suits up and the lanes have Superman again. Clark saves the day, but he'll continue to learn, it doesn't matter what Superman does, he'll always have enemies. The worst part for Clark comes when his friends aren't even there to make up for his enemies, as Jimmy runs off when the anti-Superman crowd gets going at Star Labs, and Lois, she's too busy dealing with her dad. So, all on his own, Clark starts the search for his cousin Kara, who we know as Supergirl. After that, and after a whole episode of seeing Lois bond with her father, General Lane sneaks out when no one's around once again, but Lois, she finally seems to be okay with that. I say that because we got another flashback where Sam was telling her to be okay on her own, and it seems that finally broke through to his daughter. The episode ends as we see Lex and Amanda Waller speaking with Star Labs represented by Hank Henshaw, the Pentagon, and also General Wade Island, who is the general that Superman really should be worried about. I thought that was an okay episode. Staying with the end here, I love how Lex is closing episodes out this season, and it's really just helping build his character, in my opinion. However, I didn't love the overall story of this episode, even though there were some really good character moments sprinkled throughout. It just didn't do it for me, but the show always delivers on its action sequences, and those were just as great as they always are here this week. And so that'll do it for my breakdown of the fourth episode from the second season of My Adventures with Superman. Like I said, just an okay episode that did give us some great character moments, but I'm looking for season 2 as a whole to pick it up a bit. Let me know what you thought of episode 4 down in the comments below and make sure you have a great day.